Hi guys, and welcome back to Truth Bombs and Hot Flushes. So today we have the lovely Jes Foord joining us. So Jes is not just a survivor, she's a warrior for change. After surviving sexual violence, she made the bold decision to turn her pain into purpose, becoming a voice for thousands of survivors across South Africa and beyond. Through her advocacy work and incredible impact of the Jes Foord Foundation, she has created safe spaces, awareness campaigns, and real support systems for those who often suffer in silence. Jes, your story is not just about survival, it's about reclaiming identity, rebuilding strength, and choosing courage when it would have been easier to basically disappear. So, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Ah, lovely. So tell us about Jes Foord.
So,
Jes Foord.
I'll start with my story just for those who don't know it. It was in 2008, and my dad and I went for a walk with our 5 dogs in a small dam in the Shongweni area. And on the way to the dam, we passed 5 men walking past. We waved at them, they waved back, didn't think anything else of it. And when we got to the dam, we'll get there eventually. We'll get there eventually. When we got to the dam, we offloaded all of the dogs and we were throwing sticks into the water. Just all of our focus was on the dogs and what they were doing.
Yeah.
And just remember hearing the screaming and shouting coming from behind me. And I turned around to be met by the barrel of a gun in my face. And if I close my eyes, I can still see that image. I think it will be with me forever.
Yeah.
Exactly. And straight away, I was a bit cliche. I put my hands in the air and I said to them, take what you want. They took my cell phone, my dad's cell phone, all the jewelry I'd been given for my 21st the year before. And they then asked us for money. We didn't have
So you were 20, I'm assuming.
I was 21. 21, yeah, just 21. Yeah, I turned 21 in the September and this happened in March.
Oh my goodness.
So they took everything. Then they asked us for money. We didn't have any with us. We were at the dam.
Yes.
So they asked for the keys to the bakkie. My dad straight away gave them the keys. They took us up to where the bakkie was parked under a tree. They put me in the passenger side. They then chucked my dad in the back of the bakkie. They kept trying to start the car. They kept stalling it. They couldn't put it into the right gear. They then decided to throw me out. They then threw my dad out and they said to us, just go. And, you know, we always hear, I mean, we live in South Africa, every second day you're hearing of someone who's been hijacked or robbed or, so I was straight away,
actually think, hey,
exactly, this is actually going to happen to me. So everything
it.
is like happening, it's surreal. It's like
I'm sure it felt like you're in like a twilight zone. Exactly. Is this really actually happening?
100%. And then we thought we'd just walk away. We didn't know where we were going. We'd only been to the dam once. So we just walked and they then came up behind us again. This time they were a lot more angry, a lot more violent, and they really started to shove us. And the more they shoved us, I realized they were actually pushing us towards a ditch. So it's two dams with an overflow in the middle that's created this ditch.
Okay.
And they got us to the top of the ditch. It was about 3 meters high. They pushed my dad in. They then pushed me in. And then they climbed down the bottom and met us at the bottom of the ditch. They took my dad to one side where they tied his hands to his legs to a tree. They then took his little fishing hat off his head and they shoved it in his mouth with a knife. One stayed with my dad, the other 4 then turned to me, started kissing me up my neck, telling me they loved me, calling me all sorts of horrific things. They then pushed me to the floor, pulled my panties to my knees, and the first one climbed on. Then the second one climbed on, then the third one climbed on, then the fourth one climbed on. And it's almost like I was saying earlier with you get like an out-of-body experience. It's as if your body, in my case, it was as if my body was not my own.
I'm just actually, as you're telling me that, I'm like, I'm sure in that moment you must have felt that like you basically above your body looking at what's happening.
It was like I was looking down on my body like, what is happening? I mean, they were asking me to move backwards and forwards. I was paralyzed. I couldn't move. And yeah, I think you often hear of people talking about these out-of-body experiences, and you sort of go,
Yeah.
But then
Up
when you're in
until
the situation, and I've since learned through having the foundation and working with a lot of counselors and psychologists and social workers, that it's a body's natural defense mechanism. So it automatically switches off to protect you from what is happening.
Yes.
So it is like an out-of-body experience. It's your mind taking you away from the situation to help you get through it. And it really was. And I remember at the one point, my puppy was actually looking over the ditch, and my mind went to the puppy, and I was focused on the puppy, and please don't jump. And if the puppy falls, will it hurt itself? Will they then hurt the puppy?
Which was actually a good diversion as well.
This whole thing is happening to me. I'm just lying there, and this is what, my mind is taking me to, is this puppy and what is happening. And meanwhile,
in a sense, your mind kept you safe, basically.
Exactly, yeah. So that's my story in a very, very small nutshell. From there, we were found by two incredible ladies. They were walking their horses in the area. It's people ride bikes, horses, trail runs, everything happens there. They found us, and they managed to get, we used their reins to get all the dogs together and tied up, because they had, at this point, they'd now left with the bakkie. So all the dogs' leads and stuff were in the bakkie. So we tied them all up, and we walked around to the Shongweni Polar Pony. And when we got there, these ladies had very kindly phoned ahead to their neighborhood watch. And by the time we got there, there was a social worker was there, police officers were there, the dog unit were there, everybody was there waiting for us. It was unbelievable. And then the dog unit went back to the dam with my dad. They took him back to the dam, and they were able to pick up a scent. And they followed the scent of the bakkie. They then found the bakkie crashed into a tree a couple kilometers down the road. And then obviously they had to discard the bakkie and run. So they were able to pick up a scent, and they chased that scent. The dog unit ran for 16 hours until they caught them. They were actually carried out.
This is what I want to hear.
Exactly. Yeah. They were carried out on stretchers from dehydration, because they just ran until they caught them, and then they were done. People who say that the police departments are not dedicated, I beg to differ.
And looking at it you could look at it, because I know us as South Africans, we love our beautiful country, and we get a lot of slack about crime, and and listening to this right now, it can't help but anger you, right? That we're living in a country like that. But there's two different parts of your story. There's one of something unimaginable, and then, as you've said, you found two kind South Africans.
100%.
And there was basically a little community waiting to help you when you got to a safe place. So,
with South Africans, I think we are so good at coming together and rallying for good when something bad has happened.
Absolutely.
I mean, you've got the looting, the flooding,
and then you see everyone just come together.
Doesn't matter race, doesn't matter color, doesn't matter age, nothing. Everybody just comes together to help, and it is incredible to see. It's so uplifting in a world or a community or an area where so much is going wrong. There is still so much good out there, and so many good people, and it's just so great to see. So
to listen to you say this, I mean, it could have made you so angry and upset, and I'm sure we'll get into that, because I'm sure it's only natural, and I really want to dig into that. But to see the women that you are sitting in front of me right now and still rooting for a country that you love clearly is amazing. And I think that's the message we also want to get out there, that yes, we're not oblivious to what's actually happening out there. These things will traumatize us for life. I've been a victim of hijacking and all of that. So I've known, the little things that happen in South Africa, but your love for South Africa, that diversity in South Africa, the camaraderie in South Africa is so huge that we're so blinded sometimes by all the horrible things that go on, that maybe we need to just focus a little bit more on the beauty of it. It doesn't make the bad go away, but it just makes us maybe see more of goodness and positivity that this country actually brings.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, please go back to now they found them and
yeah, so that was all happening on the one side, but I was taken from the Polo Pony. I was taken to Hillcrest Police Station, where I was my statement was taken.
Okay.
And from there I was then taken to Pinetown. There was no such thing as Tutuzela centres back then. We'll get into Tutuzela centres just now.
Yeah.
But there was no such thing as that, so I was taken to the centre of Pinetown, behind the main taxi ranks.
Oh,
wonderful area. 7 o'clock at night.
Oh no! And after what you've just experienced,
myself and my mom, and there's a clinic behind there.
Okay.
Right next to the railway, and we waited there for about an hour for the district surgeon to arrive. Look, it was no fault of his, because he was dealing with another case up in Pietermaritzburg. So so we had to wait. Eventually, when I was let in, there was blood on the bed from whoever was there before me. I mean, I don't know what happened, but it was dirty. It was just...
And now to have to deal with that.
Yes, and then you've got the whole rape kit scenario where you've got, to put it nicely, there are a range of earbuds, and those earbuds are inserted to every single orifice on your body, including your ears and your nostrils and everything down there. They take hair samples, they do nail scrapings, skin scrapings, like everything is taken from you. Obviously, it needs to be done.
Beyond to have gone through what you went through, and it's not just everything just happened back to back. There was weights in between.
Yes.
So your mind, I'm sure, in those moments tried to get the better of you as well.
Yes.
Of like comprehending what's happening, and then now you're gonna have like a dozen cotton buds shoved in different places to actually accept all of that as well. But it has to be done.
Exactly. And I mean, the district surgeon was amazing. He explained everything and why it needs to be done, and for the collection of the DNA, etc., etc. And from there I was taken. Luckily, I was on medical aid, so I was able to go to Hillcrest Medical Centre, where they gave me all of my ARVs, morning after pill, tetanus, TB, STI, all of those. I mean, I think I rattled when I walked.
I'm sure.
So many drugs. And then I was also given the ARVs back then were very different to the ones now.
Okay.
It was a series of tablets, and you had to take them twice a day or three times a day at the exact same time every single day. So like 7, 12, 7, and it had to be at those times. And I actually went with a couple of friends. We went to Splashy straight afterwards.
Yes.
And I remember, I think there was probably about 20 or so of us in the group all camping together, and everybody had set their alarms. So it didn't matter where I was, what I was doing. I just had this whole group of people running towards me. Jess, you need to take the tablets.
But I mean, how sweet is that?
I know, it was, and it just...
That's just...
And I think it's all those little things along my journey that have kept me positive and kept me going. Just to, people care, people are... And, what happened to me on that day, I could not prevent. It happened. There's hindsight. There's, if I hadn't gone to the dam, we hadn't done this, it's done. There's nothing you can do to change it. Absolutely nothing. But what I can change is how I go forward. So I could have either chosen to just be another statistic and give up and throw in the towel and say I'm done and immigrate or whatever. And after that whole process, I started hearing, my first newspaper article came out, and then there were all these stories of people that this is happening to and that never got help and that never got justice. And it just broke my heart to hear that there were so many people going through this and there was no one to help them. So that's when the idea of the Jes Foord Foundation was born, is that there are so many, I had so many people supporting me, and I still had days where I felt alone and I was petrified and I wanted to give up. How are those people feeling? So, and I mean, another thing that sort of kickstarted the foundation was the community all rallied together and opened a trust fund for our family to pay for medical costs or counseling or whatever. And we had medical aid, didn't have to pay for that. Medical bills were covered. We then wanted to do a holiday where the community said, use it, go on a family holiday, spend time together. We then got gifted the East Coast Radio a big favor, and it was a holiday for our family. So we were like, and then I said, I sat down with my family and I said to them, this money was given to help us. We don't need it. Can I use this money now to help others? And then I think we had, in 48 hours, they'd raised something like 70,000 Rand.
Wow.
So, and that was nearly 18 years ago.
And you know how much that is. That's a lot of money back then. Yeah.
So with that money, we registered the foundation and we opened our doors. So that was a journey. I could have, there were 2 paths, and I decided
you chose the. Yeah.
I haven't gone through this for nothing.
Exactly. And let's make a difference.
Let's try and help other people.
Because there's so many. It's just, when you haven't experienced something like this, you actually a bit sheltered from what the reality is of what's going on out there. And I think with you having experienced this, and you had brilliant supports around you, but we have to think about the ones that are quiet and don't want to actually, verbalize what has gone wrong, don't have a community surrounding them, don't have a village helping them. And those are, the women that I guess Jes Foord Foundation is. So tell us more and more about this.
So I mean, I think just on that, I don't want anybody listening or watching to think that because they have taken a different path that they've done something wrong. They haven't. Everybody deals with trauma differently. And it doesn't 100%. Matter what level of trauma. Trauma is trauma. So, I mean, I'll get people who'll say, oh, something happened to me, but, they just touched my boobs, so it's nowhere near as bad as what you went through. I said, excuse me, you have not been gang raped, so you don't know what that is like. So what has happened to you is the equivalent of what happened to me.
And it's still a violation.
100%, don't downplay it. Your trauma matters, and your healing matters. And like, so many people will say, oh, mine wasn't so bad as yours, or I was only hijacked, or I was only had a house break-in, or it's still a trauma. You still need to deal with it. You still need to get help. You need to go for counseling. It's so important to be able to get that healing journey.
And I'm sure there's days, even now, that there's hard days.
Very much so.
So I mean, us that haven't been through the experience still have hard days, and we know how exhausting it is to get through it. With you that has been through so much and having a hard day, how do you cope? How do you deal with it?
So we've actually labeled these hard days in the office. We call them duvet days.
Okay. What's it again?
Duvet. Like bed, pillow, duvet. Duvet days.
I like.
And maybe not in this weather.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bit hot. But so we have a rule at the office that if you wake up in the morning and you are feeling overwhelmed, or something has happened in your personal life, or whatever it may be, all you have to do is send a message saying duvet day. There's no explanation needed. And nobody takes advantage, because they understand the meaning of it and the meaning behind it and why we do it. And it's just duvet day. And that can be a day where you take yourself shopping. It can be a day where you stay in bed and cry all day. It can be a day where you work in the garden. It can be a day when you clean out your cupboards. It doesn't matter. It's your day. You do with it what you want, as long as there's a T's and C's. There's always T's and C's.
Has to be.
The T's and C's are, you can only have one day. And the reason is not because you need to you do need to get back to work, but it's so that you don't get yourself into a slump.
That's it.
You need to allow yourself to feel. You need to allow yourself to grieve, to whatever the situation is, to rest, to whatever. But as soon as you start doing it again and again and again, you get yourself into a pattern, and that's when you can slip into depressions. And you need people around you. You need support as much as you. I mean, I think everybody knows that it's the nights where it's unplanned and you didn't really feel like going that you have the best time ever.
Absolutely.
It's an unplanned dinner, or it's a walk at the park, or whatever it is. It ends up being the best day. So you need to get out. You need to surround yourself with people. So we do have a duvet day, and I have them often. But I have an incredible support system. My friends are unbelievable. Like, we have a friend group and a WhatsApp group, and it's just, there's always somebody lifting somebody up, or you can just say, I hate today, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, me too. Do you want to meet up for coffee? Let's do something. Let's just...
And no judgment there, just
nothing.
support.
And I can arrive with greasy hair and haven't brushed my teeth, and they'll probably go, oh my gosh, don't talk in my direction.
Yes.
But they will be there and they will support me, and it is the most incredible support system ever. And I mean, they love my children like they're their own. They will... Again, it's a no questions asked. Like,
but that is something so special, and I think that's something that we really, we go on about here at TBHF about creating. Well, we created the platform for something like this, where you have a whole lot of women that want to come together, but to uplift each other.
Exactly.
Because we all aren't walking around perfect every day. No. We have our days where we're broken, but we should be allowed to be or feel broken momentarily.
Yes.
And have that support
Yes.
to lift you up, but not be judged for it.
Yes.
So I think, gosh,
It's
you
only
are
happened
quite lucky
later
to have.
enough.
Yes.
It started with my antenatal class.
Yes.
And it's just grown from there. We've added people, and it's just I don't even know how to explain the
and I think creating that bond from then with
exactly,
antenatal classes with your kids, and then it just
breastfeeding
grows.
and talking about poo
and
all
and
of
how the conversations go.
Oh yes,
100%.
And it's just, and I don't I wish I could speak to every young girl and just say to them, and one of my very good friends told me this, if something is affecting you right now, think to yourself, is this going to matter in 5 years? Mm-hmm. So if someone says, these teenage girls, oh, you look fat in your school costume, is that going to matter in 5 years? No. And it's your body.
Yes.
And that's another thing I say to when I do my talks at schools, I say to these young girls, your body is the only body you are guaranteed to spend the rest of your life with.
Oh, yes.
So look after it, love it. Who cares if you've got cellulite? You've still got two legs, two arms, a head. You can walk around, you can eat, you can drink, you can laugh. It's a body.
That's it.
Who cares if you've got stretch marks? It shows that you've grown. Who cares if you've got, I don't know, mascara running down your face? Go up to something. You've got lift each other up. Don't be like, oh my gosh, look at her. Just go and say you've got a bit of.
That's it. And I think it's so important that we do that. Yes. I keep telling, I've got a 17-year-old niece who I adore to bits, but the pressures in school, I listen to it and I feel we also are a bit more resilient. I think this generation as well, they need to be pushed a bit with also ignoring the outside world.
Yes.
Because from trends to this, to that, they feel this pressure, and if their bodies do not fit a certain style or structure, there's something wrong with them. Or if you're a teenager that's full of acne and that's a teenager that's got flawless skin, there's a problem. And I keep saying, be who you are,
and own it.
And own it. That's it. Whether you're going to get laughed at, own it, because your confidence will spill out onto people who are being nasty. And just spread kindness. Kindness is something so important. And I know, I was a teenager ages ago, right? But it can be daunting.
Very much so.
You're bullied, or girls can be
very
mean.
Yes.
So I wouldn't say mean, I would use the B.
Yes.
They can be little bitches. And absolute.
Terrible.
And you would think what? So we've got to make our young girls resilient and strong and powerful from the time they hit, and I don't even think hit adolescence, because I have seen it in 8 or 9 year olds. They're so catty.
I know.
And if we can actually do that and mold them, and
the young boys as well. If we,
that's it.
I've got twins, and I've got a boy and a girl. So
I've
lovely.
Got how old are they?
They're 12.
Oh,
Well, they're 12 on Wednesday.
Okay.
They
fair babies are the best.
Yes.
My middle boy is going to be 9 on Monday.
Hey, look at us. But it's been very interesting to watch the two different sexes grow up
Yeah.
at the same age, at the same time, in the same environment, and see how completely different they are. But it's so important. The focus is always, and just to bring it back,
Yeah.
like I always say, we live in a society that are teaching women how not to be abused, as opposed to teaching men how not to do it in the first place.
That's it.
Right? So, and I say women and men, it's actually people.
Yeah.
We live in a
Yeah.
society that are teaching people how not to be abused, as opposed to teaching people how not to do it in the first place. The focus is always on what not to do, protecting you. Why are we not trying to prevent it from happening in the first place? And that's where I say with the young boys, like little things, like my son, poor child, knows more about periods than I think I do.
No, but that's what I do with my 3 boys as well.
100%.
But they should.
They have to. And I said, it's something that happens
Yes.
to every single
Yes.
girl. They don't have a choice. Yes, sometimes they leak through their skirts. Yes, sometimes they're grumpy. Yes, they will get extra pimples. But you need to understand that. When schools separate them and they do the period talk with the girls and the whatever talk with the... No,
I
have
don't
them
agree
in the
on
same
that.
room.
That's it.
It needs to be spoken. It needs to be normal.
Yes.
It needs to be. It's an everyday, it's a thing. So that when a boy sees a girl with a bit of blood on her skirt, they don't all point and laugh. They go up and they say, I'm so sorry. Please don't be embarrassed. Here's my jacket. Wrap it around you.
I tell
my
my
sister's
older
got
boy
some
this
pads in
constantly.
her bag.
Yes, I tell my sons this constantly because they should know.
Yes.
It's something that's natural for a woman.
Yes. We
So
don't
why?
choose this.
I mean, we
Trust
really
me,
don't choose
we
it.
really
We really
don't.
don't choose it. It's not like it's such a glamorous thing to have anyway.
It's horrific.
I mean, allows us to have babies, but I mean,
Silver
But
lining.
I mean, I've constantly even told the older one, I'm like, if you see, because he's going to be 16. So there's definitely, girls and with
Yes.
sport and whatever. I said, never ever make a girl feel uncomfortable. If you see it, mum gets a period.
Yes.
I mean, and you guys know it, know. And speaking about that, I'm going to be a bit crude, but even with my third, I had my third one at 40, right? So really certain things weren't functioning as well. But and I had a Caesar
Yes.
after 2 natural. So that was like a whole
new
other
ballgame.
yes. So my son then, Tegan, was 12. Yeah. He would actually help me place a pad on my underwear, and because my feet were swollen, like I had elephantitis, and he would come help me, and it was something so lovely to see. I mean, I know we probably get a lot of slack about, no, how can you make your, I'm like, no. That's how he's going to
He's
treat
helping
his
his mom.
wife one day.
Exactly.
That's how he's going to treat his girlfriend one day.
Exactly.
And he should be the child or the man or the husband that goes out and gets pads for his wife or gets this for his wife because, she's on a period. Let her feel comfortable.
Yes.
We need to start
do.
emphasizing this.
Definitely.
And
It
stop
needs-
separating it because we are in the year 2026.
Six.
Like, I mean, come on, guys, you got to come to the party here.
Exactly.
So it's I think what you say, I totally agree with that. It's something else.
It is, and it's. I just think it's so important for kids to understand. Obviously, you don't want them to grow up too fast or have to experience things that are scary and all of that. But you want them to understand future and life and how things work, and that sometimes mom will be sad and she will cry, but it's okay to cry. It's okay to show your emotions. It's okay to talk about things and help each other through and guide and listen, because otherwise you end up living in a box where you shut up and you don't say anything and you don't share and nobody understands why anybody's irritated because everybody's dealing with something and nobody
communication
knows.
shuts down. It's like, and the
just
thing
gets
is
worse.
we are told, men have grown for centuries knowing that they shouldn't really express. A man shouldn't cry. A boy shouldn't cry. A boy child shouldn't cry. And I'm the mother that, if you need to cry. It doesn't make you any less of a boy. But that shows us that you have emotion and you have feeling.
You're human.
You are human. It doesn't make you any less, And they have to understand that because boys are taught to be butch.
Yeah.
And I think my husband, now he's realized that because they've been raised in that way, different generation, like, no, man, toughen up. It's just, and there's us mothers like, no, it's okay. It's sore. It's you can cry and whatever. And I think he's realizing now that, you know what, it would make a difference to these kids in future because if they show emotion, they're not going to lock up if they're in a relationship.
No.
They're not going to close off if they're in a marriage. And just, they will speak up. They will show that emotion. And it makes them better men.
It does.
Better human.
It does.
You know? So it's simplicities. I mean, I know there's still a lot of old school thinking. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of
we've
work.
got a way to go, but we're getting there.
But we got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
And I think our generation, like, not our, I could say, our generation, are you younger than me? But I mean, we kind of had the switches, most of us had the switch click on of like, no, we need to change this narrative. You know, there's a lot that are like, no, leave the narrative as it is. That's how it was. Women are supposed to be like this. Men are supposed to be like this. It just takes me to a recording last week of one of our guests. Sorry, the thought just came in and I'm like, no. I need to. And she was also domestic abuse and a rape victim. And she was like, you know, the weird thing is when she came out to society, and this is the other end of the stick now, came out to society, yes, you had a little bit of your support system, but then there was a whole lot of backlash with, yeah, but you use such short dresses. I'm like, are you serious right now? She's like, yes, that's literally what taking away from the fact that there are babies, there are toddlers, there are teenagers, there are women that are getting raped. Are we going to focus on the fact 100%. That you had a short dress? Because using a short dress tells a man, yeah, it's okay.
I don't know if you've seen that. There's a trend thing,
right?
With women and their dogs. So they'll sit the dog at the table or on the wherever, and they'll put a piece of steak in front of them and they'll say no. And then they'll get up, they'll leave the room, whatever, they come back and the dog hasn't done it. And they're like, if the dog can understand no, why can't you?
So I've seen a similar, I mean, yes. I mean, hello. No, I didn't see that one, but I saw the one with the kids, the toddlers.
Yes, and they leave the sweets.
And they leave the sweets. So, I mean, come on. If a toddler says, okay, I've got to hold on and wait.
Yeah. And that's a piece of meat.
And that's done in a very simplistic way for everyone to comprehend and understand.
Why should women not be able to express their bodies and
absolutely
be who they want to be? And
absolutely.
Why, again, the emphasis is put on what you shouldn't be doing. As a woman, you shouldn't be drinking when you go out. Why? I'm of age. I can have a cocktail. I'm not driving. What's the issue
why
here?
Not?
You can have 15 beers, but it's still not your fault. You were very dry. It's still not your fault. It's my fault because I had one cocktail and I was wearing a short skirt. How is this? And I mean, back to like with the rape kits and stuff, that entire process that I had to go to, back then the law was that it was against the law to take, until you were convicted, then you could only take the perpetrator's DNA.
Are you serious?
Because it was an invasion of privacy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We can't possibly put a cotton bud in your cheek. Please.
And we've had cotton buds. You've experienced cotton buds everywhere that a cotton bud could go.
I stood in Parliament in Cape Town and I said to him, you want to know what a violation of privacy is?
Yes.
And I went through every single, with the rape kit in front of me, I went through every single detail. They all just sat there. The bill was changed. On arrest, your DNA is now taken. Because I'm sorry, I was like, you cannot be protecting a perpetrator like that, even if it's just a suspect, against a victim who has just been raped, who now has to go through that. That is a violation of privacy. But that has to be done so that you can get his DNA. And you are coming out of trauma, going into trauma, and it's just a build-up. And where's the perpetrator or the suspect or what? Yes. And then a year later or 2 years later, you have to go to court and you have to defend yourself while you get questioned and get to a point where you sit there and you go, maybe I made this all up because of the way they interrogate you. And it's also just remembering and replaying this over and over and over again. And you're right, just to protect the person make sure that has actually created person. Yes. Oh no. Yeah. Gosh. And then one of my perpetrators was 16 at the time. So he went to juvie. Okay. And then when he was due to come out. So they were all convicted? Yes. Right, right. When he was due to come out, I got a phone call from the police and they said, no, I need to go and sit in a room with him so he can apologize so that he can then carry on with his life. I was like, I beg your pardon?
So he can carry
So
on with
9
his
years
life.
later,
Okay.
you want me to go and sit in the room with this guy so that he can work
Now
on
live
his
life,
healing
yeah.
and his peace.
Oh, wow.
I was-
Shame.
Luckily, I had an incredible lawyer on my board at the time, Charmaine Schwen. She was next level, and she.
Oh my gosh.
I phoned her. I'm like, what do I do? She's like, you leave it with me.
Yes,
I never heard
yes.
another thing.
That would get some words out of me
and
that
I
are
said,
not
is this
kosher.
the norm, or is this a special request? No, this is how it goes.
Are you
This
serious?
is how it goes. When they get released, they get the opportunity to come and apologize. I was like, no, thank you. You had the opportunity to apologize in court, and you laughed at me.
No way.
They laughed
No
at me
way,
in court while I
Jes.
was doing my testimony and saying what had happened. And every time I said the word vagina or whatever, they laughed. And they were sitting from here to the other side of the table, almost away from me, and they just laughed at me. They were laughing.
How
they were
did
lying
you
back
actually?
in their chairs.
No. How did you
Most-
cope with that? Because I know you've got to be composed
Yes.
in a court setting.
Yeah.
And remember, you weren't like in your 30s or 40s or whatever.
21.
You
Well, I
were
was 22
still,
then, yeah.
but you were still young.
Yeah. And the children do this. It's, yeah. It
And to have
blows
to
my mind.
contain yourself knowing what they've done to you, that's going to be carried with you
Yeah.
till
Yeah.
forever. And to sit there and, oh no.
No, it's yeah. The
So did they, just a little more with,
Yeah.
how long did they go in for? Are they
They
out
were-
now? Are they?
So there were 5 of them. The one that didn't rape, that was with my dad.
Okay.
He got 15 years for
Okay.
armed robbery, and something with aggravated assault and theft of a vehicle, blah, 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 and being an accomplice.
Okay.
So he got 15 years. So he is, I assume, out now. I chose not, I said, please, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Then the other 3 that were involved in the rape were all, I think they were like 26, 22, and 29, I want to say, but I could be a bit wrong there.
Yeah.
They all got 25 years, no parole, which is life in prison.
Yeah,
It's one of the highest sentences you can get if not running concurrently.
Yes.
And then the 16-year-old got 9 years at juvie, or 9 years with the option to apologize, and then his further sentence would be determined. So Charmaine dealt with that, so I don't know what happened then, but I assume he's out by now. So yeah, it's been interesting journey.
Interesting is just a tad bit of an understatement, but yeah. But I mean, just seeing the woman that you are, the woman that's sitting in front of you, I feel like it's, I say this to every woman that comes onto TBHF, that it's so, you guys are inspiration, what have you. I mean, you literally are walking, talking inspiration here. I'm seriously, I feel like I'm like gobsmacked at all that you've been through, but how you've taken something that was so negatively impactful and turned it into something so hugely positive.
I really do, like, it's, my friends know, it's like a standard joke with me, is everything happens for a reason. And something really terrible will happen, and I'll be like, there's a reason coming, and they're like, how do you do this?
Yeah.
I mean, I do, trust me, I do get my days where I fall apart, but
yes.
if that had not happened to me nearly 18 years ago, I would not be doing this.
Yeah.
I would not have opened the foundation.
Yes.
I would not have got
You
these
most likely would
programs
be on a
running.
completely different
I wanted to be a
path.
photographer. Like, so it definitely happened to me, and I never know how to word this and how people will take it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a bad rape.
Okay.
I mean, it was, but
No,
we weren't stabbed.
I completely, yes.
We weren't beaten. Like, yes, it was, obviously the rape itself was horrific, but
I'm not going to agree with you with this,
no,
but I can
you
understand
know
what you're
so
trying to say. Yeah.
it could have been so much worse.
Yeah.
So I had to experience it to be able to be on a level where I can talk to other survivors, I can design programs, I can talk in schools as a survivor myself.
Yes. And you've
Where I've-
extracted positive. It's so hard to extract positive out of that situation.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
And to say that it was not a bad rape, you've extracted a positive out of
Like,
there because you
I had
looked
to
at
have
it
experienced it
from
so
a
at
different
least I
set of
experienced
eyes.
it without being stabbed or beaten or my father being murdered or
Yeah.
you know. I always feel so terrible when I say that out loud, but anyway,
No.
whatever. It is what it is.
But for you to see it like that, I mean, you're something else.
I had to have
really.
gone through it, and then so I went before the year before when I was 20. I worked in the UK as a carer.
Okay.
And when I was there, one of my clients' friends actually locked me in a bedroom, threw me on the bed, and tried to get my clothes off. I managed to kick him off. I jumped out the window and I ran. I phoned my agency and I was like, get me out of this situation. Came home, and then all of this happened. Obviously, the agency had reported it to the police. I got a phone call after my South African rape saying, we've caught the guy. He's going to court. We need you to come back. And I was like, but nothing happened. He didn't, he tried, but I kicked him off. And they're like, no, it was attempted. You need to come back. They flew my mom and I to the UK. They put us up in a 5-star hotel. I got court prep. It was next level. I got counseling. I got training. I got taken into the court, shown where who you call what. Lord's Lade is very different in the UK, but all the different things. I had daily counseling if necessary. They gave us food. They treated me like an absolute princess. It was unbelievable. And again, that inspired me to start all the stuff that I've started here. So if I hadn't had that, I wouldn't have had half the programs that I'm running now, because I realized where South Africa was lacking and what we didn't have. And that's how it was started. And if I can quickly bring it to the Tutuzela centers. I don't know how we are for time. We both love our chatting.
No, and I feel like I have all these questions that I want to ask you about this and this and this.
But I think Tutuzelas are very, very important. So there weren't Tutuzela centers, and I had this idea from the UK to start a one-stop shop, for lack of a better term, where everything was done under one roof. Your reporting, your rape kit collection, your counseling, your medication, everything, police, everything is there under one roof. So the poor victim is not being taken from place to place like I was. So anyway, that was my dream. Unfortunately, there was a lot of red tape with government, and they said no. A few years later, the Tutuzela centers were born.
There we go.
It's very interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
But anyway, it's fine. It's for the good of the people. I don't mind.
Yes.
And a Tutuzela center is a one-stop shop. And what South Africans don't realize is if you are raped in South Africa, you can't go to a private hospital. It doesn't matter if you have medical aid. It doesn't matter who you are, how fancy you are, who you know, you have to go to a Tutuzela center. So if you are in Hillcrest, you are raped, you go to Hillcrest Hospital, they will send you to a Tutuzela center. Because you have to have been trained to do a rape kit, so only a district surgeon can do it. Yes, you can, if you really want to be stubborn, you can request a rape kit to be sent to Hillcrest Hospital, and the doctors can do it. I guarantee you, I've seen it happen over and over again. You get to court, it is thrown out before it even starts. Because the evidence wasn't collected properly, the statement wasn't taken within the right.
But that's something so good to know, even for our listeners and our viewers.
Go to a Tutuzela center. There's one situated at every major government hospital. Everyone goes, oh my gosh, government hospital, never in a million years am I taking my children or anybody I love near them. They are separate buildings. I am there 2-3 times a month in each different one. There are 9 across that we specifically work with. There are 9. I think there's 13 in total just in KZN. Yeah, so there's a lot of them. If you go onto our website, there's a list of which one is the closest.
You did that. I'm just saying.
Government did that.
But you push them to do that.
But it is a separate building. It's either a park home or a prefab or a separate building. Trust me, those nurses and surgeons are not there for fun. They are there because they are passionate. They are there. It's not for the money either. They are there because they are dedicated, hardworking, caring people. And if anything,
I think in a situation like that, you want that.
You need that. And these people do it all the time. So they know what they're doing. They know how to take care of you. They've got the right stuff. The rape kit is there. The police officers are there. The female police officer is there. There's a quiet space for you to get. Everything is there. So don't try and go private. Please go to a Tutuzela center. Go to our website. Have a look. There's literally a list so you can see, right, I'm in this area. This is the closest for me. It is so, so important. And please try and go within 48 hours. So with the ARVs, if you get them within the first 8 hours, they're 99% effective.
Okay.
Every hour after that, they drop in effectiveness. So you need to get them straight away. And I mean, morning after pill, STI medication, you want it as soon as possible. And also, don't bath. Do not shower. Try not to drink anything and try not to go to the toilet. If you have to go to the toilet, wipe and keep the paper. It doesn't matter how disgusting you think it is. Keep the paper. And please don't put anything in a plastic packet, because plastic taints the evidence.
I'm getting quite educated on all
this
of
is the little
now.
educational part of the So
no, but it's interesting to know this. I think it's so important
paper,
that we all know
put
this.
it in paper. Everyone goes, where am I going to get a black paper or a brown paper bag? Guys, we're very grateful to Checkers for Checkers 60. Those little brown bags, keep one. Woolies Dash,
yes.
Spar to you, whatever it is. Let me punt them all. Maybe they'll
there
sponsor us.
Yeah, exactly.
But seriously, just keep one of those bags in your cupboard. Speak to your domestic workers, speak to your family, just say it's there. I mean, people are like, yeah, but I don't want to have that in my house because then I'm tempting fate. Okay, do you have burglar guards? Yes, I do. Why? Are you tempting fate?
That's
No.
not tempting
Do you
fate.
put your seatbelt on when you get in the car? Does that mean you're going to have an accident every day? No. It's a precaution. Keep that bloody bag, please, in your cupboard.
Really,
You can put it at the back with the baked beans that also never get used.
You forget about.
Put them with the baked beans.
And it doesn't expire, so you're good.
100%. So leave it there. Have it on hand. And that's not just for a rape. If you have a house robbery and they've, I don't know, picked up a bottle of milk and dropped it, pick it up, put it in there. In that bag, take it with you. If you want to change your clothes, take them off, take them with you.
See, now, I wish I knew this, because my kids were held up at home.
Oh my gosh.
And we did have stuff that the guys had touched,
because by the time the police come and
yes. And now knowing, it's like, hey, okay. I think it's so important that we educate ourselves about this.
And another thing is request a copy of your statement. So by law, you are allowed a certified copy of your statement. Who certifies things? The police. Who wrote the statement? The police. When they try and tell you, oh no, we can't, or it's a legal document, you can't have a copy. It's my legal document. My name is on there. Make me a copy right now. And if they say no, you take a photo of that copy.
Yes.
Do it.
But make sure that you have
that. And that goes for car accidents and whatever else. It is your document.
Yes.
Because things tend to go missing at police stations.
But too often.
The filing system, there's a flaw there. But anyway, get a copy.
And if anyone is looking at maybe volunteering at one of these centers, is it possible?
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
The Tutuzela centers are obviously only nursing, counseling, and district surgeons. Within the foundation itself, it's also we often get calls with people wanting to help, and we are so grateful, but because of the sensitive nature of what we do, I refuse to use a lay counselor within the foundation, because I want someone who's trauma trained, because it is such, not just for the survivor, but for the person doing the counseling. You've done a lay counseling course and maybe you've helped your neighborhood watch, and now you get a person who sits in front of you who's just been gang raped. It's a very different situation. That's just me personally. For the Jes Foord Foundation, we only use trauma-informed counselors and social workers. So it's so important to get that help, get that counseling and whatever. We often do events. So when we do events, we need help. If people are wanting to get involved and help with the foundation, we are always looking for donations towards our events, whether it be prizes or whatever. We always posting on our social media for what we need, what's coming up next, those sorts of things. So
perfect.
Just it's Jes with one S.
Okay. Yes, Foord, with one S. We will remember that.
Foord with 2 O's. My entire life is explaining the spelling of my name. Fun game. So it's Jes with one S, Foord with 2 O's.
With 2 O's.
And it's the same on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm not very good with.
Join the club.
I'm trying to learn, but all the information is on there, and links to our website if anyone needs any further help. And please, if anybody is needing counseling, please don't hesitate to call us. It's free. It's free counseling.
Lovely. I before we end, sorry, as I said, I've got so much questions. But how did we go back? That coaster doesn't want to leave. Going back to what you've experienced, and then you were still so young, you know. And I mean, 21 is like your fragile but funky kind of experimental age, and you know, we've all been 21, and yeah, crazy is supposed to come into your life at 21. But how did what you experienced affect relationships and basically where you are right now? And I'm going to bang out all in one.
Sure.
So you've got two beautiful kids. How have you like set them down, explain this to them, what you've gone through, and what's their take on it, and yeah.
So just to jump back to
Yeah.
the start, I think because it happened so young, I had to grow up really quickly. I was thrown into running an organization at the age of 22, and it was like I'd obviously never done anything like this before. There was a lot of learning curves. There was a lot of growth, a lot of change, a lot of ups and downs. But yeah, and I think obviously the biggest highlight of my life is my two babies.
Of course.
And I was actually told I couldn't have kids. I had a burst ovarian cyst and I lost my one ovary, and they said chances of falling pregnant with one ovary are very, very slim. It'll probably be IVF and you'll have to do all the things.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure hearing that as well.
It was because since I was like 5, all I wanted, what do you want to be when you're big? A mom. Like that was just my thing. I always wanted to be a mom.
Yeah.
I always said I was going to have twins.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be 2 boys, but it was not. And yeah, they've just, I think I was very obviously, I went with the flow. I didn't live in fear. I was young. I had to mature. I was running the foundation. I was very busy. But then when I had my kids, and I think every mom says this, it's a love that you can't explain. And immediately I had to go back into counseling, because immediately I went into, my children can't be in this world. Yeah. Not this country, this world. This world is screwed.
It's the whole anxiety.
I can't bring up children. What if something happens to them? I can't do this. And then my fear went to, after I got that phone call about the guy coming out, my fear was he's going to go after my kids. So I went into the school. I went full on psycho. I was like, nobody talks to my children. You do not share any photos of them. They are not, if somebody comes to visit, you tell me they're not going to be in school uniform. I went psycho because I had to protect my kids. I remember I chatted to one of the teachers who had started. She was an intern when the kids had started there. She was like, Jess, I was so scared that I was going to do something wrong with those kids. Like they told us that they're celebrity kids. Like nobody is allowed. And she's like, now obviously I'm so much more chilled. Like,
yes.
I'm absolutely fine.
I think it was only natural to
but
actually
I went into, and I had to go back
into that
counseling.
mode. Yeah.
And she was like, they're going to be okay. I was like, no, but my babies. And just watching them grow, and they are my reason to carry on every single day, because they trust me. They give me all of the grey hairs. They give me all of the stress.
And especially at 12, going into
my
teenagehood.
My daughter has been a teenager since she was 3,
and
it's just getting progressively worse. But they just bring me such joy. And they are the reason I keep going, and they are the reason that I keep pushing the foundation, and because I have to make it a better world for them. And I think as a society, as parents, as the older generation, not the oldest, just the slightly older generation.
The more mature generation. Yes, we go with mature. We go with mature.
Our responsibility to make our children not be dicks.
Absolutely.
We have to bring our children up to be decent people and nice people, and because they are the ones who are going to have to live in the next generation and their kids. So if we just lay back and let it be, what are we actually doing?
We're going to have a repetition.
We
don't want that.
We need to pave the future.
That's it.
But we really do.
Yes.
We really do. Yeah.
And I think that's where it starts. It starts with our kids. Yeah. I mean, we know we can't change the world. Let's be realistic here, right? But we can
change one bit at a time.
It's like, I always tell my husband with like homeless people or people who, need a plate of food, or I'm like, I know I can't save everyone,
but I can
but
feed him
if there's
for
one
tonight.
person, I can give them a full tummy for just tonight.
Yeah.
And it's something done. It's a step forward.
Exactly. And you never know what your little something is going to do for that person.
Yes.
Like, you might give that person a meal, and that person was maybe about to end their life that night because they thought, I can't do this anymore.
Yes.
You gave them food, you gave them hope. It's not saying every time you do something is something
It's
miraculous is going to
it's
happen, but
yes.
you never know
But
what
you
people are
just never
going
know.
through and what they're dealing with, and how that one little thing can change
make a
their
difference.
day.
Yeah.
And it really is so
I feel
important.
just keep going forward.
Yeah.
So man, it's been as I said, I feel like I've just got tons of questions.
Yes, we'll have to do it. We do a part 2.
We have to do a part 2. I think we have to do a part 2. But Jes, it's been super amazing and so informative. And I know how busy you are.
It's fine.
You
this
are
is
like,
quite nice. I get to sit and look
so
at this
just,
beautiful view and chat with incredible women. So
it's really been our honor to have you here and for you to so freely, give us your story, but also educate us. I mean, I feel like I've had a bit of a class lesson here. So I'm happy I learned a lot of new things today. And we need to definitely chat more about the Jes Foord Foundation and see how we can actually get involved or aid or sponsor or whatever because I definitely, because what you're doing is amazing. It seriously is amazing.
I think our next biggest goal, just quickly, is I've got the go-ahead from government to open my own Tutuzela Centre. So for anyone in the Upper Highway area and the 7 surrounding communities, the closest Tutuzela Centre is either RK Khan or Edendale in Maritzburg. So there's nothing in this area. And they don't have
quite
capacity.
A distance,
so they have given me the go-ahead. I just have to fund it.
Okay, well,
so
there
any
we go.
millionaires out there that are listening, hashtag
just
contact
listen,
me.
Yes. But we need to chat about this.
That is our plan.
Yeah.
That's our sort of, it was a 5-year plan. I think we're down to 2 years, but I do believe it will happen.
It will.
It'll happen at the right time.
Absolutely.
Everything at the right time, everything for a reason.
I also believe in that. It's just sometimes we need to train ourselves to be patient because I believe that God places you in situations at the right time. We may not understand it.
No.
Because, we're human. We're like, no, here now. It needs to happen now.
Yeah.
But I totally believe in that. But very excited about this.
Yes.
This, I think, is going to make a huge difference, especially up in the area.
It's a very expensive
undertaking. It's but
6 million a year just to run.
Gosh, oh my gosh.
So I'm looking for.
But it will. It's not. It's that's it. All the millionaires out there, trillionaires and billionaires, just make your way.
Anybody know Elon Musk?
Oh yes.
Hook me up.
Just get his personal number there, and
he's South African.
We sort it.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you so much for having me. It's been wonderful. I really have enjoyed myself, and I look forward to your next events and things.
Oh,
and,
yes, definitely. I mean,
again.
we slowly are growing. I mean, we've gained so much of momentum from last year, July.
Yes.
But I think for me, what has just been so amazing, and I think a huge blessing, is that this was created as a foundation for women to speak their truth.
Exactly.
And to see how many people, it's like we started this the first season, and yes, we were like approaching people to come on board, share their stories, and now to find that women want to come on board to share their truth, because it's like, oh, we've watched season 1 and I can relate to this or I can relate to that, and it gives them a bit of a, I can do this. I can actually sit in front of that camera
100%.
And I can. So I think then I realized, hey, our work is done basically.
Your story is your power, and you can't share your story without platforms like this.
That's it.
You guys are doing an incredible thing, empowering so many women. So thank you, because we need a space where women can just be themselves and talk and say, I'm having a crap day, or I can't do this anymore, or I need support, or someone bring me dinner because I don't feel like cooking. It's been a long day.
Exactly. And not feel like you're a bad mom, bad wife, you're just a bad person. It's like, no, I'm just having a shitty day.
When people say, when a man does everything a woman does, they say he's such a good dad. But we just mom.
I had this conversation with my kids last night and my husband at dinner, and we were talking about, they were trying to make a comparison, because I'm like, guys, you know what my Fridays are like, but I've got to juggle this. And I tried to have at least one day in the week for each child where I at least get an hour just a one-on-one, because they can all get lost with three around
Yes,
in the
I
house,
can
right?
imagine.
And then they go, oh, mum, you always like, because you've always got this meeting. And they went on, especially my middle one is a cheeky bugger, but he's such an old soul. I love it. And he has no filter. He just says it like it is. And it's,
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, Dad, I think, because mum just does, but we all are busy. And he goes on. And I'm like, okay, guys, bring a piece of paper for each of you. And then I'm going to write down all mum's duties
and then yours.
And daddy's duties as well. Because dad just gets to chill, go to the, not chill at the office, shame. It is, But I mean.
But women are expected to do all of the things and work.
And then I'm like, who remembers your extracurricular? Excuse me, who has to pick drop
lunch?
Who remembers that you've got
clothes?
That's a dentist appointment, orthodontist appointment. Oh no, he's got a ped appointment. Oh, who remembers all of that? Oh, Milano, you actually need to be packing this set of clothes today. Does dad? And his father just sits there and he's like, I think we kind of lost this one, guys. We're gonna have to just be silent. I'm like, I will win hands down here. The mum always does.
Always wins. Yes.
That's it. But I mean, we're mums.
Exactly.
We're mums, so
we do it and we
love it going and we love it. That's it. That's it. But
thank you so much.
Thanks again. And
you.
I feel like there could be another episode.
Yes, I think we need a part 2.
Definitely. So guys,
Awesome.
Thanks again for joining us at Truth Bombs and Hot Flushes. To the next episode.